Hello and welcome to another episode of KalkineMedia's popular Invest Nest webinar series. Today, this webinar is titled Meet Galileo Exchange, a unique social day trading platform. My name is Rachel Jones. I'm an anchor and reporter with Kalkine TV, and I'll be your moderator for today's event. Now, before going ahead with the session, it's important that you are aware that this webinar is for informational purposes only. It's not a solicitation or recommendation to engage in any investment activity under discussion. We are neither licensed nor qualified to provide investment advice through this platform. Now, the key idea of Invest Nest webinar is to present our audience with a panel of experts who share the potential of their businesses and growth strategies along with their company's value and vision. We uncover the unheard stories from the business leaders on how they work towards their success and innovation. This event aims at sharing insightful business information and guidance on emerging themes and breakthrough trends in the Australian markets. The webinar attendees can post their questions in the Q&A chat box during the webinar. We will be taken by the respective business leaders after their presentation. If due to any time constraints, we're unable to take your questions live, you can send questions to us at info@kalkinemedia.com. We'll get all your emails answered by our panelists. After the success of social commerce, which has been a boon to e-commerce, the idea of social trading primarily involves individuals taking cues from one another, especially while taking trading decisions, be it forex, cryptocurrencies, or stocks. Now, traditionally, traders expect more from the investment ecosystem than just trading or developing strategies. This is where new age trading platforms are making huge strides in the trading market. Here is your opportunity to meet one such trading platform provider, Galileo Exchange, which is a hybrid of a crypto exchange, a blockchain project, and the innovation of accelerated price dynamics. I'm happy to introduce our speaker for the day, Dr. George Muchnicki. He's the Executive Director of Galileo Exchange. Now, Dr. Muchnicki graduated from Monash University with a medical degree and spent 25 years in private practice. Since 2021, he served as Chief Medical Officer for Genetic Technologies, a biotech company involved in advanced DNA genetic research and testing. Welcome to Kalkine Media's Invest Nest webinar. Mr. Muchnicki, please share your presentation deck and take over the virtual stage.
Thanks, Rachel, and what a fantastic introduction. I'm going to remember this for a long time and play it for my kids. And it's been a while since we've been on air, and I think there may be some people right now in the audience who are not familiar with what we do and how long we've been doing it for. So I'll just do a brief summary of why we're here today. And so our product, which is the Galileo Exchange, is a true hybrid, but one thing it isn't is an exchange. It's a gamified trading platform. And so what we've done is we've taken real live data and we've turned it into a game. And so that's where it's very different from the traditional exchange. As well as that, we've taken games, casino games, and we have tradified casino games. And so in this age where there's new generations coming through, the impact of crypto and crypto-related opportunities seem to be taking over and grabbing these younger generations. So we in fact bridge the two camps, traditional financial, traditional casino, and then we introduce the crypto element and these various other novel methodologies to our products, and that is fast, low risk, social, and what I mean by that is fast, you can do a trade in less than 60 seconds. social because we have tournaments, low cost because we have zero fees, zero spreads. And so what we're competing for are the traditional casino people, and they're used to paying a house commission. So let's say if you look at our product like roulette, we have no zeros in our roulette if you use our native token. So as a result, you have got an ecosystem which is has no competition. And if it did have competition, it couldn't create a better ecosystem. At best, they could compete with us one-on-one. So we are hoping that that will be sufficient to bring people to our platform. So we've done the same thing for roulette and for baccarat. So for East, which is baccarat, that's the Eastern markets. Roulette is more of a Western market. And then we've got trading games like Weekend Binary or Weekend Forex and the Galileo Exchange. These are true hardcore trading games, and they have candlestick charts and they have indicators and so on. And they allow you to use your trading skills. And that, sorry, I got distracted. That allows you to use technical trading skills to try and create some sort of an indication of where the game is heading, where the trend in the game is heading. And so suddenly it becomes a new ecosystem for the 14% of day traders who are into technical trading versus fundamental trading versus mixed fundamental technical. I'll just mention that the ideal for us is to take that tournament experience, so we've had 61 tournaments so far, and turn it into a constant tournament, whether it's every 24 hours or every 3 days. Our platform will always have a tournament. And the best traders, and what we're finding after 6 tournaments, the best traders seem to be on that leaderboard on a regular basis. So by having regular tournaments and having real cash prizes, we hope to attract some fantastic traders. And as a result, it creates another copy gains side of the enterprise. And copy gains has been one of the fundamental reasons for the success of companies like eToro, where they may only have 1,000 people trading, but they'll have 20,000 people copy trading. So where we are today is we're at that point where we are now starting to create a copy trading platform, which I think will complete what we do in its current format. I hope that makes sense to you. I'll also add that once that phase is concluded, we're going into another phase, which are skill-based games. And they are things like poker. So you'll see in jurisdictions such as, let's say, India and the United States, in many, poker is accepted, it's legal, and it's regarded as a game of skill. We hope to introduce a particular skill set into the game of poker. And what I mean by that is charts and indicators. And again, uncover the best of the best and create tournaments and introduce our product to a new audience. We recently went overseas and we're looking for people who can strategically introduce us to these new markets. And I can honestly say we had very good interest, and hopefully within the short future, the near future, we'll be able to start demonstrating how strategic relationships open up our products to large databases. And in return, the people who have these databases create exciting events, either under our label or under a white label for their audience. So these days, it's not enough just to have an audience. You want to keep that audience entertained. And by not having a house edge, we are a natural way to entertain an audience without cannibalizing your audience's resources. So you'll see that a lot of the games in the crypto space on the internet right now, sort of battle games with characters and so on, the casino games that you see don't often have a novel component to them. And so this is where we have a unique point of difference. The novel nature of our products, the good value of our products, and these tournaments which will eventually turn into world championships. So for me, from a very humble start, we've had 12 months of very intense testing, and we're currently centralized. We have a token called the Geld, which is built on the Binance Smart Chain and is centralized, and we're looking at ways of decentralizing our financial operation to make it more palatable to a wider audience. So these are the goals that we're hoping to achieve this year. Integrate with other strategics, decentralize, introduce championships which will culminate in world championships, and open up new divisions, especially around games of skill like poker, where the market is very, very popular in places like India, where I spend a lot of time. And I see this as a fantastic future market.
And are there any other geographies that you're looking to move into around about now?
Well, the beauty of being in the cryptoverse is that the world is our market, and the low hurdles to introduction to new markets are so attractive, and the fact that we don't have to negotiate each location. So the key is for us to make sure that we are, as I said, aligned with these influencers, introducers, and groups that have social data. So it's not a slow progression, it's going to be a very fast introduction to large databases. Hopefully we can demonstrate that model in action before June this year. So we've got 3 months here, probably before June this year. And that could be a model for other opportunities moving forward.
And what do you see as the growth for this world?
Well, there's no doubt that the social component and the database is the key to success today. And what you want from your community, which is the complete opposite of what the casino world used to do, is you want your community to prosper. And so you need to create novel revenue streams which bypass your user base losing money. You want your user base to become wealthier, and you want them to be entertained, and you want to create a third model for revenue generation. And look, it's obvious that we can't predict what the future has installed for us, but what we know is that the bigger the Galileo Exchange community is, the better that we know that community, the more valuable that information becomes. Then we become something that's attractive for other groups, and they will in turn impart various benefits and opportunities for our audience. A big part of our new opportunities is around play to earn. So this is the basis of attracting young talent, which will ultimately become the celebrities that everyone would look to because of their excellent skills. The experts tell us that there is a skill component to what we do, and these people demonstrated. Now, if whenever there's a tournament on, we have a leaders board, and on that leaders board, it displays real time the gains that these people have made. There was a leaders board that I sent to you guys, and it may have been lost somewhere along the way, but after 3 days into a 7-day tournament, The leader on the leaders board had achieved gains of 16,000%. Now, this is just a lifetime of success in 3 days. So this becomes the basis of generating interest in the platform and in an opportunity to ride the wave that's generated by these incredible traders. Now, imagine if you could copy trade that trader had you started right in the beginning, because he or she were reputational, they had previously traded very successfully. And if on that day he was or she were to achieve the same result, imagine a return of 16,000% on a regular basis. So the model that we base ourselves on, which is the eToro model of copy trading, their best traders achieve results of 50 to 100% in 12 months. And by introducing these tournaments, we're introducing an opportunity of around, almost consistently, they're getting north of 15,000%. The best result we've had was, I think, 22 or 23,000%. So this becomes an incredible story. And so it goes from being just a casino, a novel casino with trading tools and trading products with a casino element, to now a tournament where there's people there with such extraordinary skills that they can turn that $1 over into 16 or 16,000%. Is at 160 times, so they can turn $1 into $160 every week, and that is just a crazy thing. So we're hoping that we'll have thousands of people competing for these cash prizes, and you can uncover the next trading whisperer or the next extraordinary person who can rise to the top. And I think that'll be a very exciting way to do it. Our ecosystem has that feature built in, and we can create liquidity pools for these tournaments on a regular basis. So this is an attractive concept to people looking for a token that's going to have some longevity and some opportunity to demonstrate value. And that's our task. So our task over the next 3 to 6 months, and we like to work in 3 and 6 month modules because the landscape is changing. I think to have 1 or 2 year business plans doesn't work for crypto. You have to be very quick on your toes. So we have 3 and 6 month projects, and I just described them previously. And so it just means that the next step now is to go from beta to hardcore, decentralized, open for business, competing with big markets.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your very insightful explanation there. Would you be prepared to take some questions now from some of our viewers?
I'd love to.
Great. We've had some come through. I have a question here from Mike asking, what are your views on decentralized blockchain technology and cryptos?
If you're a serious contender and you want to be in that marketplace, you have to be decentralized. It's a level of transparency that people respect. It opens you up to a global market. And as Rachel said before, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm like everyone else. I get the same news feeds that everyone else do. But I was in Dubai recently, and I can tell you now that the whole crypto market is on fire over there. The innovation and the quality products that are coming out, for me, are very exciting. So number one, my humble opinion is that we are here for the long haul. And certainly regarding decentralization, I think that to go to the next level, we need to do that. And that is, like I said, part of our 6-month strategy moving forward.
Thank you. And I've had a question through from Sandra, who asks, We've read a lot in the news on crypto exchanges going belly up. How is Galileo Exchange ensuring the safety of its users' money?
And this is a point of great confusion because we call ourselves a Galileo Exchange. We should really call ourselves a Galileo Exchange in brackets, gamified trading. So we're not a real exchange, we're more of a casino. Let's look at it that way. The difference between us and an exchange is that all the money that comes in to purchase the gels is held in a liquidity pool, which is then kept in cold wallets. And so when you're centralized, you can do that, but then you have the disadvantages of being centralized. When people unwind their position and they want to cash in their gels and take out the BNBs, we have the liquidity pool and they access their BNBs through that liquidity pool. So we are different. We are an exchange by name, but we are a gamified platform by nature. And right now, our IT people advised us that cold wallet, centralized approach is the best way to protect the holders. And of course, we don't touch that liquidity pool.
And just on that note there about the GELT, we have Amy Roberts asking, how is the price of the GELT token determined?
When we released the GELT, it had a bonding curve. This was a bonding curve that we created. And so as demand goes up, the price goes up in a predetermined fashion. As demand goes down, the price comes down in the same predetermined fashion. So it had an element of demand-supply token economics, and this was developed in conjunction with our legal people who advise us to follow that protocol. When you apply that same protocol to a decentralized market, the price difference is quite significant, and I would actually prefer that more conservative, decentralized bonding curve to our current bonding curve, because I think that the experience we've learned is if it goes up too quickly, it comes down too quickly. So we want to have a more steady, slow, less acute trajectory. And I think that gives everyone confidence, especially where you've already got your products and they're already in the marketplace. So now it's not, will we have it? Now it's the real proof of concept.
Thank you. We've got Sandra Jennifer asking, what are the near-term changes that users can expect from the platform?
I think the biggest exciting development is the tournaments, what the tournaments are showing us. So the tournaments have done a number of positive things for us. Number one, they helped us uncover any weaknesses in our software. And our security, which should always be the number one factor governing your operation, has improved tremendously from the insights that we gained. Excuse the helicopter. And the other thing is that to understand which games are popular and how to structure the markets, the tournaments, to create excitement within the markets. So for me, the tournaments, the copy games, and that whole move towards play to earn and creating ecosystems within ecosystems. And what I mean by that is we don't want people who don't have experience to gamble. We actually don't think gambling is a safe pastime. That's why we created a level playing field. So it's a social environment. Then the next thing we say, if you're going to gamble, if you get some sort of a thrill out of it, do so, but do so in a zero edge, or follow these extraordinary traders and see how they perform. And then you can use that experience to, let's say, predict how they're going to do in the next tournament. So now you're going from gambling to investing, and then you can actually bet on the investors, so not the actual jockeys, but the best investors, the ones who can pick who's hot and who's not on the day. So we're creating all these new opportunities which can be documented using our charts and indicators. So it's a different snapshot, it's a different mindset. We're sort of moving away from gambling to technical trading to investing, perhaps. And right now, the numbers, so after a year of being on the market and checking, testing, and so on, I can tell you that the software is very true. We're supposed to be 100% ROI and or RTP, and in fact, after a year, we're about 99.8%. So our software is very robust, and it's able to create that level playing field that we're promising. So to cut the story short, copy trading is the way to go, without a doubt. Have a look at all the big players. The copy traders are head and shoulders above everyone else.
Excellent. Now we're going to close off questions very shortly. We're just going to let one more sneak in. It's from Andrew Miller, and he asks, how does Galileo compare with other trading platforms such as Robinhood?
Well, you know, we've gamified that whole experience. So let's say if you're trading Bitcoin on our platform, you're not actually buying Bitcoin. We're pretending, and we're creating a value proposition. And if it gets to this point, you can collect that much money, and if it gets to this point, we'll collect that much money. So, but it's based on the real price of Bitcoin, or if we're doing gold on our platform, it's based on the real price of gold. So the bottom line is, it's the gamification of all these very popular pastimes, but we're trying to create a better user experience. So just think of us as a modern day 21st century casino, exchange, gaming platform that has tools, back testing, strategy, auto trading, and tournaments. So it's at the end of the day social, and we understand, interestingly enough, dementia seems to progress where there's no stimuli. So if you have a solitary life, if you're just sitting there watching television, it's passive. Even if you're pushing some buttons, thinking, moving, getting excited, getting the adrenaline pumping, it's probably preferable to being passive. So the whole point is to turn something which was previously a one-way ticket, siphoning money from the user to the operators, into a social activity, and that'll grow. And so hopefully we can demonstrate some of these new utilities, as I said, in the next 6 months. Actually, I'm very confident that we'll demonstrate these new utilities and how this integrates into our current ecosystem, crypto ecosystem.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for answering those questions so succinctly, Dr. Muchnicki. Now, before we close, could you kindly share a takeaway note for our audience?
Well, you know, I think what we've learned is that the financial market is extremely wicked, and you have to be prepared for good times and bad times. And when you look at the charts, there's been more pain than pleasure in the last few years. And I think that what you need to do is, if this is your investment platform, if this is where you'd like to risk or possibly gain from future trends, do your homework and don't just look at these companies because you've seen me do this wonderful interview with Rachel, but you need to dig deep and have a look whether we've got real products, real utility. Does anyone benefit? Does everyone benefit? And are we able to disrupt? So I think that these are the hallmarks that I want to be remembered by, and will demonstrate growth through utility, through user uptake. And so the numbers will give you a clue as to how we're tracking. So keep an eye on us and do your diligence.
Well, we will absolutely be keeping an eye on your company. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Machnicki.
Thank you very much.
And on behalf of Kalkine Media, I'd like to extend my gratitude for addressing our audience with meaningful insights and also patiently answering their queries with such great analysis. So on that note, I'd like to thank our audience for attending this webinar, and we hope you have found this session informative. And to delve further into equity and market updates, you can visit us at our media site at www.kalkinemedia.com/au. Also, you can visit our equity research website, www.kalkine.com.au. Stay tuned with Kalkine Media for more upcoming InvestNest webinars. I hope to see you all again very soon. We're very active on our social media platforms, so stay connected on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And if you do have any queries, our email is info@kalkinemedia.com. Stay apprised and invest wise. Thank you all again for your time and have a great day.